Hello, my name is Victoria Rivera, and I'm a wellness psychotherapist in New York City, and welcome to Mental Health Wellness Wednesday. So, we've been talking about mental health triage and treatment over the last several weeks for COVID-19. We explored the core feelings of fear and the anxiety and of uncertainty that is coming up, anger about what's happening in the world and what's happening in our lives and that of the people that we love, sadness and the grief about the lives that we had before and are grieving that in many ways, and of the feeling of disgust and kind of pushing away from people, or that feeling that you may be wanting to push away from people and why you might be experiencing that. So today I wanted to talk about joy. One of the main things that I've noticed, and I've noticed two things that I'm going to talk about. One is that a lot of people are saying that they can't wait for this to be over so that they can feel better. That they are reminiscing about how they were able to go outside and work and see their families, and that brought them an immense amount of joy and happiness. And until that happens again, they can't feel that feeling, or they won't allow themselves to feel that feeling. So what I would say is your life is actually not on hold. Your life is happening now. It continues to happen. And what our brains like to do is it likes to reminisce about the past and almost kind of be nostalgic about some of the things that we might have been feeling, and highlight, that feeling of, oh, things were so great when, we notice this happens all the time. Everybody talks about the 50s and how wonderful they were. They were not for a lot of people, but whatever. There's that feeling of kind of being nostalgic for something when you did have some episodes and some feelings of happiness, and feeling like that was the normal way that you felt. And so I think that a lot of people are struggling with that, is like, oh, I can't wait for things to go back to normal, then I can be happy and I can be joyful. But again, your life is happening now, and there are plenty of opportunities to be able to have that joy and to feel that joy throughout the day, even though there's so many things that don't feel very joyful or happy, and especially with everything that's going on with COVID. And so then that goes to my next point. When you do feel joyful during the day, and I have heard a lot of people are struggling with this too, is that there's a sense of guilt. There's a sense of guilt of feeling that you feel good, you feel like, actually this is not so bad for me, like, yeah, things kind of suck for other people, but, I'm kind of like, getting into the rhythm of things, and I feel very good. I'm able to take better care of myself, which I hope you all are doing, and that is bringing a sense of joy and a sense of satisfaction. But what ends up happening on the flip side of that is the feeling of guilt, because we all know people who are suffering, who've lost their jobs, lost their lives, lost loved ones, and are struggling in this current situation. And so even though we're feeling the feelings of joy and happiness on some level and being content with how things are, that feeling of guilt gets triggered because we know not everybody is experiencing that. So a couple of things is, look, the only control you have is taking care of yourself and putting on that mask, right? And so if you're able to have those times of joy in your life during the day, take them and really ingest them in your mind, body, soul, and connect with it, because that is such a profound feeling and experience, and an experience that we need to have a bit more of, especially now. So allowing yourself to do that, and notice if you do start feeling those feelings of guilt, or if you feel like, oh wait, but I shouldn't be feeling like this, kind of going back to allowing yourself to feel it, and that you deserve to feel good even with everything that's happening and going on. For some of us too, we're struggling with actually even feeling the feelings of joy. A lot of us feeling depressed, anxious, maybe even suicidal. Again, if you are having any of those feelings, please contact me, contact a professional. There's so many great hotlines that you could call. NYC Well is amazing. So, you're going to probably feel not so great at times and not feel the feelings of joy, but maybe wanting to feel them, or maybe not even wanting to feel them, just kind of wallowing and feeling sad and upset, and totally understandable. But if you want to change that, two things you can do. One is you can exercise. I know, sucks. But we know that, all of our emotions are connected to our bodies. It's a mind-body system. And if we are exercising and taking care of ourselves, then we can really make sure that we are releasing those endorphins and feeling better. So exercising, especially when you're not feeling well, is imperative actually to feel a bit better. Now the thing is, because you don't feel well, you don't want to do the exercise. Totally get it. Alexa, turn off. She's been so helpful. Totally get that you don't want to exercise, but doing some sort of physical movement is very helpful. So it's 10 jumping jacks, it's doing some push-ups. That will help change your state so that your body feels a little bit better physically. And then the last tip I have is actually smiling. So even when you don't feel like smiling and you feel like shit and you don't want to do anything, forcing your facial muscles to have a smile actually helps you in turn feel like, oh, I should be I'm smiling, but I don't know why, but it feels good. And it's a trick that you could use on your brain to change your state. And you just smile, and eventually your state will change and you will feel a little bit better. So those are some ways that joy is kind of coming up during COVID. Please feel free to comment and let me know how the feelings of joy are coming up for you, or if they're not coming up for you and what that's like for you. I really appreciate it. I hope that's helpful. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Oh, one last thing. If you are one of those people who feel guilty because you're feeling good, send loving kindness to the world every day and to the people that you love and care about and that you're worried about, because at this point, that's all the control that you do have. And sending out that psychic energy or whatever that energy is, whether it's placebo effect or not, we know placebo effect does work. It will help you to feel less guilty about feeling that feeling of joy. That was the last thing. All right, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.